Good day once again. Mr. Thabo Maupa again. Today I'm going to present Module 4, Grade E, titled The Role and Function of Security. We all know what is a role player or what is called a role model. Now, here in security circles, if we say the role and function of security, it simply means that the role that you play, you as a security officer or as a would-be security officer, the role that you play in the functions of the security function. Right. The security function has been divided into 3 categories, which means security is not the same. They differ according to the departments that they work in such a way that we have got 3 categories. Category number 1, security of information. Security of information is protection of classified information, protection of important documents, and protection also of computerized files. That is number 1, security of information. The second category is security of material, assets, and equipment. In short, security of property. That is the second category. The third category being security of personnel, meaning the staff or even the general public who are visiting the site. Right. So on that part, the opening part of the 3 categories of security, how it's been divided, we have number 1 category, security of information. Number 2, security of material, assets, and equipment, or in short, security of property. And 3, security of personnel. That's where your question 1 comes. It says list 3 categories of security, which is simply number 1, security of information, 2, security of property, 3, security of personnel. Right. In your role as a security officer, the reason why they call this module the role and function of security, your role will be observing and following the aims of security, of which we've got 7 aims. Number 1, sabotage must not take place. 2, terrorist action must not succeed. Number 3, propaganda efforts of the enemy must not succeed as well. It's your duty as a security officer to make sure all these things don't happen in your presence. Otherwise, we have to report them before they can do the damage. Right. Number 4, prevent enemy action from breaking through the security system. The things that we see on TV, somebody bypass the security system, either using a fake card or wrong fingerprinting, or maybe abduct the security that are there so as to gain access. And he ends up coming out with classified information from that premises. So you must prevent enemy action at all costs from breaking through the security system. Number 5, classified information must not fall into the wrong hands, because it can do a great damage to the company. Number 6, facilitate investigations through the police, which means if you arrest people, you have to hand them over to the police as soon as possible, within 24 hours. And then you must give a statement so that that statement can be used to write the dockets to take the criminal to court. That's how you facilitate investigation through the police. Then lastly, number 7, make all concerned security conscious, which means visibility. You must be seen to be available in any property that you are working or any premises that you are working. So those are the 7 aims of security. On that part now, the question comes saying, list 5 aims of security, which is number 1, sabotage must not take place. 2, terrorist action must not succeed. 3, propaganda efforts of the enemy must not succeed. 4, prevent enemy action from breaking through the security system. 5, classified information must not fall into the wrong hands. 6, facilitate investigation through the police. 7, make all concerned security conscious. Right. We are still on your role you play as a security officer. You must be aware of the fact that on any premise or on any company, we've got places that are called vulnerable areas. Vulnerable areas are those places in any property or any premise or any site that you are working that are easily accessible, and it makes detection very difficult. That's what we call vulnerable areas. Here are examples. 1, broken doors and windows. If the windows are broken and damaged and there's no burglars, it's a free entry to the criminal world. It's vulnerable. 2, areas with poor illumination. We're talking about dark areas where there's no lighting, because lighting is also an aid of the security function. So if there's no lights, it's dark, and criminals like to operate in the dark, then it becomes vulnerable. Number 3, drainage pipes and manholes. We all know and see all those drainage pipes around town. Municipality people are using them to go checking their pipes underground. A criminal can also use the same drainage pipes or manholes to penetrate from outside the company and to re-emerge inside the premise that you are guarding. And then it becomes vulnerable because it's easily accessible through the drainage pipes and manholes. Then number 4, it can be trees or buildings, etc., which are next to a fence. So if there's a tree next to a fence, somebody climbs into the tree and jumps inside the property where you want to commit a crime. So it becomes vulnerable. So those are the 4 vulnerable areas examples that I give you. And then the question under this part, it says list 2 vulnerable areas. So you just choose 2 out of the 4 that I gave you. Number 1, damaged doors and windows. 2, areas with poor illumination. 3, drainage pipes and manholes. 4, trees or buildings, etc., which is next to the fence. Those are the vulnerable areas, which are difficult to detect, right, and easy to access. Then we've got the 4th part where they talk about vital points. In any company or any premises, they are what we call vital points. Those are the key points. They call it vital because it's very important for the company to survive. And if any one of those vital points is disturbed, the company can stop working, no production. Then they will have a loss. So the aim of security is to make sure that nobody disturbs any one of the vulnerable areas. Let me give you a list of some typical examples of vital points. Number 1, computer rooms. Why? Because our information is stored there, either in the form of computer or documentation or files. Right? Number 2, electricity supply. If we don't have electricity, you cannot even shoot a video. Number 3, water supply. It's also important. We can't live without water. Everybody knows that. Number 4, petrol supply. If we don't have petrol, we don't have transport. And transport is one of the key aspects that keep on a business running. Number 5, gas supply. Gas, which we use for cooking and other things, is also important in our life, so it becomes a vital point. Then lastly, it's safes and strong rooms, where we keep our valuables. If it's disturbed, we can even lose all those valuables. So that's what we call the vital point. And And the question on that part, it also says list 5 vital points, which is number 1, computer rooms, 2, electricity supply, 3, water supply, 4, petrol supply, 5, gas supply, 6, safes and strong rooms. So the question says list only 5 vital points out of the 6. Then you just select from there. Then lastly, we have got the contributions that the security officer makes in the role and function of security, which are 3 points. Number 1, report all grievances. Any grievance on site, report it as soon as possible to your superiors so that they can deal with it. Number 2, identify traps set by the enemy. The enemy can come in the afternoon and cut a piece of a fence to make easy access when he comes in the evening. If you see that, report it so that it can be rectified and be repaired before they can come back and use that loophole. Contribution number 3, do not discriminate towards race, gender, or creed. Do not discriminate. You must treat everybody fairly. That is basically the end of Module 4, which is called the role and function of security. We've got only 4 questions under that module. Question 1, list 3 categories of security, which is number 1, security of information, 2, security of material assets and equipment, or in short, you just write security of property. Number 3, security of personnel. Question 2, list 5 aims of security. 1, sabotage must not take place. 2, terrorist action must not succeed. 3, propaganda action of the enemy must not succeed. 4, prevent enemy action from breaking through the security system. 5, classified information must not fall into the wrong hands. 6, facilitate investigations through the police. 7, make all concerned security conscious. You write 5 out of the 7. Question 3, list 2 vulnerable areas. Number 1, damaged doors and windows. 2, areas with poor illumination. 3, drainage pipes and manholes. 4, trees or buildings, etc. next to the fence. So you just pick 2 out of those 4. Then question number 4, which is the last question in this module, it says list 5 vital points. Vital points are the points that are very important for the company to continue doing production. Number 1, computer rooms. 2, electricity supply. 3, water supply. 4, gas supply. 5, petrol supply. 6, safes and strong rooms. That is the end of your questioning. The contribution of security is under practical evaluation, where I'll be asking you one-on-one to see if you have the knowledge of the contributions of security, which is simply contribution number 1, report all grievances, right? Number 2, do not discriminate towards race, gender, or creed. Number 3, identify traps set by the enemy. That is all on Module 4. I think you are seeing this easy and enjoyable already. Let's meet tomorrow when I present Module 5. Module 5, that is bombs, explosive devices, and firearms. Stay tuned to my channel. I'm bringing more and more and more. You're going to enjoy it. Thank you.